unmuted. Let me turn off this fan.
Hey, we're live. Hey.
Yeah, hi.
And we're not muted.
We don't talk about that.
We did. I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
We have attempted this podcast before. Made it all the way through, an hour and a half?
It was like 40 minutes, and then
40
we
minutes.
realized that it was muted the whole time.
It was muted the entire time. Voice was sore afterwards. And it was all for nothing.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm Tim.
I'm Shelby.
Welcome to Tech Support Basics. Episode 1.
Yep.
Basically.
Hopefully episode 1.
Basically episode 1. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, episode 1.
I should probably mute my laptop before it decides to make noises.
I already did that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so you want to go ahead and we'll just jump on in here to the first topic. We got about 11 different techie topics to talk about today. Kind of some what's going on in tech.
What kind of cool shit's happening?
There's some interesting stuff. Some stuff you've probably heard of.
Some stuff you probably haven't.
Probably haven't, yeah. Let's jump on in here.
Tim, you want to take the first
I'll
topic?
go ahead and take the first one. Yeah, so the first one is the Apple Scary Fast Mac event that happened last week?
Happened on the 30th.
The 30th. Well, I don't even know what day it is today.
Today is the 5th of November.
So, basically, last week,
week.
which is Sunday. So, yes, happened last week. So, they announced the M3 lineup or Apple's M3 lineup for chips, which, I mean, if you're going from an Intel or a M1, pretty good deal.
Pretty huge increase in performance, too.
Yeah, pretty decent increase. But the M2 is like, if you have an M2, don't upgrade. It's minuscule amounts at best. But you can notice the difference from the M1 or Intel Mac. Now that's what they say. No one's actually had these two prove in real world testing yet, but so more to come on that, obviously. But according to Apple, it's going to be kind of like the Scary Fast Mac event. Apparently, it's going to be scary fast.
It'll have AMD and Intel quaking in their boots.
Supposedly, it's supposed to it's supposed to be a big hit and just super powerful. But that will be to see, of course, with any new tech.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That pretty much they updated pretty much the entire the Pro, the iMac, the Air. All of them are getting a new version of Mac. A new Mac version with the M3, which are available to purchase. Are they available now?
I am unsure. I haven't seen anything
Yeah.
regarding that yet.
Yeah, I think it's I believe it's the 17th. I was looking at this the other day. It's the 17th of November. So about a couple of weeks from now, they'll be available to purchase, but they are available for pre-order now. As far as pricing, they're a little bit higher than the M2 versions currently. Again, to be expected, but they're nothing crazy above the current prices of the M2, and most of the M2 line is still also available for sale, with I believe a slight discount once the M3 is fully released.
Which also apparently with the M3 release, there is a new entry-level version of the 14-inch model of the MacBook.
Yes, there is. That was very confusing when I tried to order a new computer the other day for someone.
When is Apple not confusing?
Yeah, I do not know, but at first I was like, where's the item I want to find on this website? Eventually found it, but
Took some
took me
finagling.
a second there. But all of them seem pretty solid overall. Again, only time will tell.
Yep. Our next topic tonight is AMD confirms the release of the 2024 release of Ryzen 8000 Zen 5, which should be fairly cool actually.
I'm
looking forward to this.
yeah. Now
Zen 5 is going to include Navi 3.5 graphics, according to the slides that were leaked for the upcoming release. Keep scrolling here.
I'm kind of interested to see how it will compare to the 7000 series currently.
Hopefully, well, Zen
'Cause
5,
it's still on the same architecture.
same architecture. I think smaller process node though.
Yeah.
So, Zen 5, we might see a 5 to 10% increase in performance.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because I have the 7900X right now in my computer, so I'm interested to see that. I'm willing to bet it's probably not going to be with the upgrade if you have.
Ooh. And here's a really nice
7.
thing. The Ryzen 8000 series is the same socket as 7000 series.
Yeah,
So
it's a
no socket change. Thank God they're not pulling an Intel.
No, I think they're gonna. Okay, it looks like a 4-year life cycle, which AM5 came out last year?
Yeah.
2 years? Was it last year?
Last year.
Yeah. So they got about 2 years left on that life cycle until they probably release.
Actually,
any
maybe
six.
longer. I thought Zen 5 released early this year, or Zen 4 released early this year, like December last year, January this year.
I got my Zen 5 in like February or March.
You mean Zen 4? You said Zen 5.
Yeah.
They're on Zen 5 now. That's what they're releasing.
Oh, I meant AM5. Sorry, I meant AM5. Not Zen AM. Yeah,
AM5.
Okay, yeah. No, I was talking about the AM.
The socket.
The socket life cycle, not the. Yeah.
And there were rumors last week that that AMD plans to oh no, sorry. This is an Intel. Yeah, we're going to talk about that one here in a few, so we're not going to worry about that.
Yeah.
Before AMD launches Ryzen 8000, it appears to be gearing up for another Ryzen 7000 launch. So maybe 7000 X3D?
Possibly.
That will be a nice upgrade.
Yeah, that would be definitely a big jump.
Ooh. And the new Ryzen 7000 APUs will be getting an upgrade to Navi 3.0 with RDNA 3 support.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
That's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I still can't believe APUs are around after
I know, like
all this time.
for a little while there, towards like the beginning of the Ryzen series, so like Ryzen 1, the first generation. I thought they would be around then, and then like the next generation, I thought they were just gonna be dead, because it really seemed like they were strongly pushing for like the just the
getting rid of it.
CPU
and going
only processors and having a dedicated graphics card. If you're going to go that route of having a powerful Ryzen series CPU, it really seemed like that. But I'm surprised they've stuck around, and it seems like they're going to continue to stick around and just continue to get better.
And the nice thing is that they're not they're most likely not going to promise it and then pull it away at the last moment.
Yeah, no, it seems like
AMD
it's...
has never done
yeah.
that as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it seems like it's here to stick around for sure.
And that is it for the
Yeah.
AMD story.
So, next on the Intel one. So Intel is planning on, or is launching, the Intel
Already
14. Oh, they have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Launched 17th of last month.
Okay, so it's been out a little bit. So they launched the 14th gen desktop processors for enthusiasts specifically. So this is past the 13, then you get 14. Next will be 15. So they include support for Thunderbolt 5 now, which I still remember when 4 came out, which seemed fast, but 5 is just really a whole nother level of, like, how fast do you really need to transfer stuff?
Discrete support for...
Oh, yeah, so is that the Intel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna... So, we're talking more about the Wi-Fi 7 in a bit, but it's going to have support for it.
Discrete support, too.
Discrete? You said discrete?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, discrete support. So, that sounds to me like it might have basically every board with built-in Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah.
It's kind of what that sounds like to me.
Although cheaper M boards could also go with the lower tier, like
maybe
Wi-Fi 5 or 6.
6. Yeah. But,
anything lower than 5 is almost unusable nowadays.
well, yeah, pretty much. Because pretty much
everything needs internet access now.
Yeah, I mean, all the routers pretty much been upgraded to minimum 5 at this point.
And there's another thing. Compatibility with 600 and 700 series chipsets.
Okay, that's going to be big too. So, backwards compatibility is always...
Oh, yeah.
That's always like a gift, is backwards compatibility. Whenever any sort of manufacturer or creator of any sort of product adds that. That's really... I kind of wish... I understand why AMD couldn't keep backwards compatibility with the AM4 versus AM5, because they changed a lot.
They changed the socket.
They changed the whole
They
socket,
went from
yeah.
PGA to LGA.
Yeah, but hopefully in the future,
everything will be LGA, and they'll keep.
Hopefully there'll be
support.
backwards compatibility with the boards and maybe even RAM.
RAM will be an easier
Yeah.
one for backwards compatibility.
It will be, because the only thing they really change on that, I mean, obviously they change the sticks, but the only thing they really change is where the pinhole is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And the read-write speed.
Yeah, which they do that on purpose. That way, you can't stick an old stick in a new system, that kind of thing. But if there's backwards compatibility, you won't have to worry about that, which would be nice if you know what you're doing. But I can also see it being confusing,
Problematic for
not as
tech
techy.
savvy
Yeah.
persons.
Anyway, back to the 14th gen Intel. It's out and you're able to buy it, and I believe it's still on the DDR5. Yeah, it's still on DDR5.
Yep.
So
It's
Is it?
DDR5.
yeah,
XMP speeds well beyond 8,000
that just.
mega transfers per second.
I mean, if you think about that, like
That's insane.
it's insane on how fast these things can go now, and like just like there's so many processors coming out and just this stuff right now. It's that time of year, but like it's just if you really think about it, it's like you can get like the i9 14900K and you can do anything you want on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, time is 20. I saw a test the other day of It was a newer end computer. I don't know the exact specs of it, but it was a video trying to, basically with a program on it, to auto load tons of Chrome tabs.
Oh, the Chrome test.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it was a newer computer, and Chrome actually started to automatically close tabs because there wasn't enough space. But the system and Chrome itself, you could still open a tab and use it perfectly fine with easily a couple hundred tabs open.
My question is, how could anybody leave a couple hundred tabs of Chrome open?
I don't know how you could honestly get any work done, but that just goes to show, like, what, 10 years ago you opened 20 tabs?
7 tabs on
7 tabs, and your computer would lag out.
Or just fall flat on its face.
Yeah.
I had a few computers that would just go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just.
And dead.
But now you can do that and play the latest high-end game on ultra graphics without any issue. So it's just insane to see how far technology has come, really.
Mm-hmm. It is quite amazing.
Yeah.
Our next topic is everything you need to know about Apple's M3 chip.
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to the first topic with the Scary Fast Mac event, but because it was announced there. But
there's a lot more information here
Yeah.
than there was in the Scary Fast Mac event. So there's actually 3 different versions of the M3 chip. There's the M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max. The M3, M3 Pro, and the Max all utilize the TSMC's 3 nanometer process.
Which
3 nanometers.
It's the smallest out there. Which
That's as small as you can go.
Honestly, I give props to Apple for that because no one else has done that yet.
No, well, we don't know yet about
right
Zen 5. Zen 5
but
might have gone
they are the first to release it.
Yeah.
To the public at least. So I mean, honestly, props to Apple for that because
Mhm.
they are typically slower to the punch on just any kind of upgrades because they like to play it safe, see how things work out before they do it, which is totally understandable. Makes their products typically a bit more stable. But I mean, they were the first to this one, and just a huge props to them. Especially like if stability works out and all that, like if it's nice and smooth, like it looks like it's going to be, that's going to be awesome for them.
So spec-wise for the different M3s, for the M3, it's got 8 CPU cores, 10 GPU cores, and can utilize up to 24 gigabytes of RAM. The M3 Pro, 12 cores of CPU, 18 cores for the GPU, and can access up to 36 gigabytes of memory. The M3 Max has a blistering 16 cores for the CPU, 40 cores for the GPU, and can access up to 128 gigabytes of memory. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, like 128 isn't really anything
It's not
new
anything
memory-wise,
new
but like
in our sphere.
yeah,
but
for Apple, that is because I believe the previous was 64.
Yeah, Max was
Max.
64
for the M2 series. So I mean, that's double jump, which is typically what kind of happens in the tech sphere. It usually basically multiplies and goes double.
Moore's law.
Yeah, but I mean, for Apple to be first at the punch of the M3 and then also double it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these new computers with the M3 series, They're going to be scary fast.
Yeah. The even scarier thing is Snapdragon's unreleased Snapdragon X Elite chip. The M3 makes it look dated.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Performance-wise.
yeah, we don't know for sure what the full specs are of their new chip, but it could be a huge competitor. From what I've heard,
It could feasibly outperform the next few.
Yeah, it could be.
Snapdragon processors, depending on.
Well, no, I'm talking about Snapdragon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It could.
You mean it could outperform the next M?
The M3 could outperform the next couple of small iterations.
Small iterations, yeah.
Because they go from like the 845 to the 850 and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
They increase in increments of 5, but there's not all that much performance.
Yeah,
increase.
they do minuscule amounts at the time. Where, as you can see with Apple, they made a pretty big jump with this one.
Apple said, "Here's the bus. We're driving it."
I think Apple is probably the most proud of their M series chips, because that's really the most recent thing they've done solely on their own. Like, they came out with the iPhone, they came out with the iPad. Each iteration of those have been kind of, aside from a few, have been minuscule, incremental updates and upgrades. But like with their M3, each time they've done it, it's been a huge deal, huge jump for them. I mean, really, the props for Apple, because it really does add. Unfortunately, it's only available for Mac devices, and you can't just go buy an M3. But it does add another option to the table when you are shopping for computers, especially with it being this powerful now.
Yeah, with it being as powerful as it is, I could feasibly see a Mac gaming computer.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
the near future. You
can easily game on one now. Even the laptops are with the M1s. The M1 is still crazy fast, and totally gameable.
Really, the only thing I fear for gaming on a Mac is finding games that are compatible.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, if they can solve that kind of compatibility issue, they might have to become more friendly with Windows to get some backwards compatibility in there, but...
Or just be more friendly with Steam.
Yeah, Steam or game developers.
API made.
I mean, ultimately, make it easier for game developers to develop for their systems.
Or to port existing software.
Or to port over to their systems. They could really be a big powerhouse for gaming in the future.
So, speaking of performance for the M3, I lost my place.
It happens to all of us.
Apple says the performance cores are up to 30% faster than the M1, which isn't really that big of a deal because that's 2 generations of difference.
Right. Yeah,
I would love to see what the difference is between
the
M2 and the M3.
That's for the base M1 and M3 though. Like you go to the M1 to like the M3 Max, it's going to be a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for that just kind of base entry level, if your M1 Max still works good, I'd stick with it.
Yeah.
It may be worth upgrading if you have the Intel Mac, because that's 3 generations old now. I have one, but it's still really good. I broke my backspace key a little bit, but that's fine. Took it to the Apple Store, got it fixed mostly. Didn't have to send it in. I was proud about that.
The M3, wait. While efficiency cores are up to 50% faster, the M3 line will apparently have the same multi-core performance as M1.
Which,
So,
I mean,
I don't know what the multi-core
I don't know off the
looks
top of
like
my
for
head, but it's pretty
M1.
good. From what I've used, I mean, I work with someone who does some video editing and stuff, and it's good for portability use, but it's not good for like if you're planning on editing video constantly, it's not great for that, unless you get the desktop version of it. You really need more GPU performance behind it. It can't quite carry it as far as GPU all the way there. So it can't quite carry the whole computer, but it's still really good.
And the really nice thing, going from the M1 to the M3 and multi-core performance, the M3 uses as little as half the power and up to 35% more performance at peak power, according to Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which, I mean, is just the direction they're heading. They announced at the previous Mac or Apple event where they announced the 15 lineup. They just continued talking about all this power saving and planet kind of conservation efforts that they've been doing. So this really kind of lines up with keeping the power there but reducing power consumption. Just kind of lines up with what they've been aiming for since the iPhone 12 release. Yeah, iPhone 12 release. Which, I mean, is good whether you agree with it or not, with what the efforts they're doing. So far, it really hasn't affected their products too much. Yeah, it's great to kind of see them. You really kind of sticking to what I think they really believe in, and kind of seeing them stick to that is good to see. I feel like a lot of times in really any industry, it's kind of can be sometimes flip flop. Whatever can make you the most money or whatever, which might still be the case, but they're doing it in a way that, as of now, I don't think is hurting the consumer too badly. Aside from maybe needing to buy a new power brick for their phones.
yeah, going from Lightning to Type-C.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've heard, still not introducing the Type-C fast charging.
Yeah, no. So they have they have USB 2 speeds on their base model iPhone 15s.
Mm-hmm.
They do, however, have USB 3.1 on
The higher
the
models.
higher ones. Although it's unclear if it works for charging or just data transfer speeds. That part is still unclear, and I have yet to test it myself.
We will keep you posted on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting development. I do suspect that whenever they release the 16s next year, that across the board it'll be full 3.1 speeds across the board. I'd assume, but only time will tell for that.
Yeah. So the M3 Pro and actually the entry-level M3 features 25 billion transistors. The M3 Pro has 37 billion transistors. And lastly, the M3 Max has 92 billion transistors.
It's really mind-blowing is what it is.
And all that in a chip yay big?
Yeah, it's tiny.
That is insanity.
Yeah. Honestly, like, for people that got in this business at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
they've made a life for themselves. For sure. Like,
Oh yeah,
I mean, if Steve Jobs was still around,
he'd be swimming
Yeah.
in money.
swimming in money. Bill Gates is obviously swimming in money. So it's really something. If you were in that time frame, and like my dad regrets this decision not going to work for Dell when they first
When they first opened.
when they first opened, because he was kind of right there and he could have. And he's in the tech space, but he didn't get there. Which, I mean, we would have been probably well off if that was the case, because that was ground up. He would have gotten in on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's fine though. But it's kind of cool to think about also, because like my dad's in his late 50s, and if you put that into perspective, when he got into computers like mid to late 20s, it really hasn't been that long.
No.
And like think of where we were to where we are now, it really hasn't been that long, and we have all this craziness now.
From computers that took up entire rooms with spool-to-spool hard drives, essentially,
Mhm.
to this.
Or
Or that. Or this.
the microphone, yeah.
Those microphones, just as smart as a computer in some cases.
And I mean, like, just thinking about the prices too. Like,
Oh yeah.
this microphone back 20 years ago,
Probably $2 or $3 grand.
yeah,
Nowadays, $150, $200.
you're right. So just the amount of technology that they've just taken and compressed and just
Made better.
and all that in just a short time is really, it's a feat in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. And our neural engine meant to accelerate machine learning models.
It's the same thing that you've been hearing about.
Yeah.
Just more AI. Just trying to get the machine to, whatever machine it is, to be more unique to the user,
Mm-hmm.
and the tasks that the user typically does will load faster. It's great. It's essentially what they're doing is basically it's like cookies on a web browser.
Mm-hmm.
It will kind of learn where you visit the most, where you do the most, and it will help speed those processes up, which is great.
Also kind of scares me a little.
It's also a very scary thing, yes. But it also has a long way to go, because I've played around with like Chat GPT and like the Google and the Microsoft one, which not great. But they've got a long way to go, but they're very helpful still. You look excited.
The M3 GPU
Mm-hmm.
includes ray tracing.
You know what that is new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can really do some
That's
good,
cool.
like, that's desktop level.
It's desktop performance, essentially.
It's Windows performance for gaming, is really what it is.
God rays. We can have all the God rays.
It depends on the game, though.
True.
I'll tell you, like it is not like that great in Minecraft.
If we ever get the chance to do a video on the channel with a new Mac with ray tracing capabilities, we should definitely try to play Crysis on a Mac
Oh,
with ray tracing.
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
I would
that'd
love
be
to
fun.
see how that performs.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We'll have to test that sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying. I wanted to clarify here too about Minecraft. It's not that the graphics are bad with ray tracing; they're beautiful.
It wasn't designed for it.
It really wasn't designed for it, and sometimes the darks are too dark.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are good, but sometimes it's too dark. At times it feels, but it's fun to play with still. I'd say.
Yeah. Which that's something we should probably try doing at some point. I saw something that I want to try. We'll have to talk about it after the stream's over, because who knows, we might do a thing a video on setting up something for my idea.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to talk about it after.
Okay, more to come on that possibly
Yes.
then. Whatever that may be.
Now on to our next
Yeah.
topic.
MetaQuest 3. It's here now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was released.
Quest 3 has been released
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, a little while now. I keep seeing ads for it. Like, I'm not that interested in it. But thank you, Facebook and Instagram, for pushing these ads to me.
Well, there's your issue.
Okay, I know.
Meta and meta.
Yeah.
No wonder it's getting
Right.
pushed through you.
But I mean, it's another upgrade, and it's
a huge one.
it's a huge one. It's from what I've seen, it's really speechless on what it can do. Kind of. Well, it's not speechless, but it really kind of is, because it's crazy what they've kind of done. Obviously, it's going to be a bit more expensive. But from what I understand, they did a bit more mixed reality with it. Yeah, I mean,
More mixed reality.
there's always
better
more to
performance.
improve upon, but it's really good for. I mean, how long have these kind of headsets been out now? 7 years, about.
For a standalone, between 5 and 7.
Yeah.
For wired, 20 plus years.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, even with just 20 years, but like, I mean, for the longest time though of that 20 years, they've all had to be wired to a very powerful computer. But now you got like
The powerful
these that just
computer
keep getting
is
better.
on your eyes.
Yeah, it's like right there. I still do have my complaints with it because it'd be nice if you could kind of tie into different platforms, but it's all kind of through.
Well, that is the nice thing actually about
is it?
Quest. You can actually.
I thought they took that away.
No.
Oh,
Quest
okay.
Quest has link cables and all that type of stuff. It even has remote desktop. So you can remotely connect to a computer and you can play anything that's on that computer via Steam VR or whatever.
I was talking about like it'd be nice if you could just like log, like if you could have connection, just log in.
Oh, native support.
Native support, yeah. I'm talking about native support, which I think they talked about a while ago, but didn't actually implement it.
The native support's actually not been talked about by Meta, I don't
Oh,
think.
was it a third party?
It was Steam.
Steam, yeah. The Steam was
'Cause
trying to.
Steam's wanting to do that with the new Index when it
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, so native support is always going to be better than
Mhm.
remote or even just wired.
Yep.
So hopefully that will. Maybe the 4. Maybe the
Who
4.
knows? Maybe when the new Index comes out, it'll put some fire under Meta's butt.
Right. So the starting price is about $500, $499.99, $500 for short.
Still more expensive than the Quest 2.
Still definitely more expensive than the Quest 2. And then there's a that's with 128 gigabytes of storage, which isn't a whole lot with the new games.
It just depends.
It does
VR
really
games
depend.
aren't nearly as large as a lot of current PC VR games.
Right, but like they are kind of getting into the space though now too that these game developers are going to start
using more and more space.
using more and more space for the Meta Quest games, and they're just going to become bigger and better. So it really depends. They do have a 512 gigabyte option, which you also got to think that you're not going to have a lot of other stuff on there. It's going to be purely games.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like you're going to have an entire Windows operating system
Or
along with all the
a
files and
launcher.
stuff. A launcher. It's just going to be the core kind of game. So that is something to think about as well with these. But there's a $650 one or $649.99 for that you can get with 512 gigabytes as well. And to put it in perspective, the base model, the $500 one for the Quest 3 is it's $300 more expensive, or sorry, $200, because the Quest 2 starting price was $299.99, so $300. So it's a $200 leap, but with what it can do,
You're getting $200 worth of.
easily, because it's comparable to what Apple is coming out with, which is $3,500.
Yeah, we don't talk
So-
about Apple's upcoming headset just yet.
Yeah.
Not until we know more.
Yeah, I mean, there's very little of what we actually know. Hopefully, it is a big, huge leap that actually values the price at $3,500, and instead of being able to go buy a Quest 3 for $650, kind of thing. But there would definitely be more to come on that. Hopefully, you're paying for more than just the name, kind of thing. It looks like you have something important that you're highlighting.
No, I want you to read it.
Okay.
So it starts at I'm and ends at
Okay.
evil.
So, yeah. So this is a quote here. I'm not sure that it's a good thing. The Quest 3 looks like a character from looks like a character from Wall-E that was rejected because nobody could tell if it was good or evil. But it doesn't really make a difference. That is kind of funny. I mean, looking at this,
It kind of does.
because we don't have it connected to where we can show it right now, but you can look it up for sure. And it has like kind of 3 very robot-looking kind of eye camera holes,
Just in the front.
very oval shaped, just in the front. So it does look very kind of Wall-E, robotic-esque kind of headset.
To be honest, it kind of gives me vibes of HAL 9000 from Space Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Dave. I cannot let you do that.
I mean, with this, I'm still waiting for. I'm still waiting for the day that it's literally just a piece of like glasses that we put on our face.
Yeah, I can't.
Kind of like what
Ready Player
Google
One.
did, 10, 15 years ago now?
Oh,
with
the
Google
Google
Glass.
Glass. Yeah.
Honestly, that technology was ahead of its time. But hopefully, we'll see that again as this technology just improves. And I wouldn't be surprised if Meta, given that they're super involved in the VR space now, eventually does something similar to that and just really condenses the size of this technology. Which would also be really cool to see.
That it would be.
Yeah, that's and I mean, of course, there's always add-ons you can get with it too. So here, there's like a $70 Elite strap.
Yeah.
Makes it better for like weight balancing and stuff. And
The Elite Strap has connections for an external battery.
oh yeah, that
And
too.
the battery goes on the back.
Yeah,
but
even
I've been
less
hearing
longer.
issues. There's been issues with it.
Oh, there has been.
Yeah. The amount of power the Quest 3 uses, no matter what you plug into it,
Mm-hmm.
I think even the current charger for it, the wall charger, if it's playing a game that's graphically intensive, it's going to drain the battery even when it's plugged in.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to. Hopefully, they can fix this through like some updates,
Software,
updates,
hopefully,
make it
firmware.
more
Efficient.
efficient. But I mean, the next few months will be what kind of tell us that for
Mhm.
sure. And I'm sure there's gonna be more. They'll probably come with. I wouldn't be surprised that there's like a 3 version 2 or something like that.
Mhm.
Metacrist 3 version 2. Just with how powerful this one is, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep this one around for a while and make a second version
That's
That-
a little bit better on power.
A little bit better power, maybe a bigger battery inside without adding bulk to it.
Well, the issue is that the Quest 3 is actually quite a bit heavier than the Quest 2.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
substantially heavier.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to have to do some. I mean, obviously they can't fix weight through performance or through software, but it'll be time will tell with just. I've been saying that a lot, but I mean, it really will.
It really will because it's a new product.
Yeah, just new products everywhere. So we'll see how that goes for sure.
I really thought you were going to go further down in the article.
Do you have more to add? I mean, that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, so I did say that the Quest 3 is substantially heavier. The Quest 3, it's not substantially. It's a little bit heavier. Quest 3 is 515 grams compared to the 503
weight.
grams. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's noticeably heavier, but it also is a little bit shorter.
Is it shorter?
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter than the Quest 2.
Oh yeah, that is a side by side. I just realized. Yeah. So yeah, you do get a.
It's a little bit thinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer to the base, which will make the weight feel less.
Yeah, it'd be more here instead of here.
Yeah, it's not going to feel like the index where it feels like it's pulling
It feels
down
like
on your face.
there's literally a weight pulling you to the ground.
That was the last thing I had on that.
Okay. But it's going to be a pretty cool product like anything else that we're talking about. It's got to be like, do you need mine? If it's loading.
So, our next topic is Qualcomm unleashes Snapdragon X Elite, the AI supercharged platform to revolutionize. I had to sound that word out of my head because my brain's not working. To revolutionize the PC.
We'll see about that, but
Honestly,
I mean,
I've been seeing some really cool stuff for it.
it does look like it's supposed to be pretty good. But
Apparently, it's supposed to actually be a proper, like, you can buy it as a CPU.
I did not know that part.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. That would honestly be revolutionary because right now we really only have two that you can buy, Intel or AMD.
So, PCs powered by Snapdragon's X Elite are expected from leading OEMs starting in mid-2024.
That's coming up.
So, built for AI, Snapdragon X Elite is capable of running generative AI models with over 13 billion parameters. That is a shit ton of parameters.
It's tons.
On devices and continues to expand Qualcomm's AI leadership with 4.5 times faster AI processing power than competitors. Qualcomm has gone ape shit with AI.
It seems like in the past 2 years they've gone from 0 to 2,000 with it. I mean, I'm sure they were definitely working and talking internally before, but just publicly, they've gone from like 0 to 2,000.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I'm bringing my keyboard up here.
I don't know. Why are you?
I was about to hook it up, and I don't know what I'm about to do.
Hey, maybe you're going to make your computer AI powered.
Yeah, just add some AI board right here.
Someday that will be the case.
Hey, maybe it'll be as easy as just pick up and drop in.
Can't wait for those days.
Yeah, I almost said it's a ways away, but I mean, at the rate we're going, it's really not.
Especially since AI has become a big thing in the marketplace now.
It's huge. Like
There are companies building dedicated cards for AI now.
Mhm.
AMD and Intel have cards in the work for
Mhm.
AI acceleration.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA even, although
Mhm.
they're focusing more on it. than
Graphical
anything.
AI, but yeah.
Yeah. And of course, that's why we've not really had much of anything 40 series wise either.
Yeah, we really haven't.
We've had 4060, 4070.
80,
I don't-
90.
I don't think there's been TIs of any of them.
There's a 90 Ti.
There's a 90 Ti.
Yeah. I think there's a 60 Ti. I know there's not an 80 Ti.
I know there's not a 70 or 80.
Yeah.
It would honestly surprise me if there was a 60 Ti.
I want to say there's a 60. So we're just going to look this up real quick.
Yep.
Because now we need to know.
So yes, there
I
is a
have no idea
4060
what the mouse
Ti 16 gig it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's a 4070 Ti.
There's a 4070 Ti?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's on
Oh.
NVIDIA's side.
I like that price
What is it?
for the 4060.
46. Oh yeah, 4060.
The 4060 Ti is equivalent to pretty much a 3070.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to get a high-end graphics card without spending a ton of money, and you don't need to be top of the line,
Mm-hmm.
the 60, the
60 Ti is plenty
60
of power.
Ti or even just the 60 is really good. And right now it's 40 series. In a bit, I'm sure it'll be the 50 series. But the 61 it's a good deal all around the board.
Oh yeah, that's a 4060.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not bad performance wise, and I do not like the price on this one.
What's that?
This one's $499.
Okay, but I mean
It's not
still,
bad, but
still,
like $10 difference from
yeah.
Amazon the Newegg. But it's
Yeah.
also Gigabyte and MSI.
I mean, when you compare that to a 4080, granted you get a little bit more power, but like
More than a bit.
It's half the price.
Yeah.
And
You can pick up
Yeah.
a 4070 for 4070 12 gig for
yeah,
$620.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
It's really not bad. But going back to our
yeah. Going back
Our
on
topic.
topic here.
at Snapdragon Summit, Qualcomm Technologies Inc. announced the most powerful computing processor it has ever created for the PC Snapdragon X Elite. I do not like the way they worded that.
Yeah, read that one more time, because that is.
At Snapdragon Summit, Qualcomm Technologies Inc. announced the most powerful computing processor it has ever created
Yeah,
for the PC. Snapdragon X Elite.
it's definitely worded odd.
It's worded odd, but I think it also had something to do with how I read it the first time because I didn't pause for the
Yeah.
colon.
It's still worded odd, I think, though. And
Mhm.
this is on a Snapdragon or Qualcomm's official site.
Yeah. The groundbreaking platform ushers in a new era of premium computing by delivering a massive leap forward with best-in-class CPU performance.
I mean, I hate to say it again.
Only time will tell.
Time will tell.
That should be our catchphrase.
Hey, let's vote in the comments. Tech phrase. Catchphrase for the channel. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell how well it does.
I like it. Just only time will tell.
We should make a T-shirt of that.
I like that. We'll get on that right after this. We have this short message from our sponsor. Tech Support Basics. We are sponsoring yourselves. All right.
Yeah. So, as AI transforms how we interact with PCs, the Snapdragon X Elite is designed to support the intelligent and power-intensive tasks of the future. That's what they put.
Yeah, I guess sometimes, because it is their own site, you sometimes do have to take it with a grain of salt. Like maybe making it sound better than it is. But I mean, Snapdragon has come a huge way.
They've been killing it.
They've really been killing it. Can we say that on here? The K word?
Yeah, we should be fine. We're educational.
Yeah, it's the way it's phrased. I mean, it's kind of crazy how far they've come, though. Really.
Mm-hmm. From days of processors that were barely powerful enough to run a touchscreen, to
like I remember my Galaxy S20 or not S23. That's what I have now. The S3, my first smartphone, just like compare that to what I have now, the 23.
It's gonna feel ancient.
Yeah, actually, I might still have that somewhere. I'm not sure.
I have a S5 Mini at my mom and dad's house.
Yeah, I still have my S5 somewhere. I know that for sure.
So maybe we'll have
to do an old.
We'll have to do a video where we go back to some of the older phones.
Yeah, that'd be fun actually.
And then I have a couple of Note 9s downstairs that we can use as.
You said S9s.
Or Note 9s.
Note 9s.
Sorry, Note 9s.
Yeah.
Although we can't get any. I think it was the S7, right? The one with the exploding battery.
It was the S7, Note 7. It was the Note 7.
Oh, it was the Note 7.
The S7's fine because I have one still somewhere.
Okay.
Granted, the screen, I dropped it and the screen shattered. So I went ahead and just upgraded that.
If we can come across them for really cheap, we'll probably pick up a bunch of them and do going over Samsung history.
Yeah, that'd be cool, and maybe we could. I think Samsung's a bit easier to find than iPhone, but it would be cool to kind of do both.
I have a iPhone 2.
Ooh, nice.
Downstairs.
We might be able to pull off some of the iPhones then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all. I know some of the older ones, though, can be pretty pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really on both
Especially
sides.
if you find them in good condition.
Yeah, if you can find them in good condition, they can be pretty pricey on both sides of the aisle, whether Apple or Samsung, just because of it's become a collector's item now.
Yeah. Yay. So, wow, there really isn't much info here about the...
Yeah, they really didn't put much on their own article.
Honestly, their article's only touting how fast it is.
Yeah. So we'll see how much it can actually do.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for.
4 nanometers is pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean that's not quite what Apple's done with the 3, but 4 is still really good.
136 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. That's not bad.
Not at all.
Wow.
Huh.
Leading PC performance per watt. Matches peak PC performance at 68% less power.
Yeah, I mean that's really been Qualcomm's whole thing is
they've always been really efficient.
They've always been really efficient with power.
It also helps though that it's built on ARM.
Yes.
Which is reduced instruction set.
Mm-hmm. So, it's already a pretty efficient.
Yeah. It's extraordinarily efficient because there's not as much you need for it to work.
Right. There really is. It's not nearly as complex.
Although it does make issues for software compatibility.
Some of the software compatibility is
But really nice thing, lightning fast 5G, Wi-Fi 7 support, immersive lossless audio, advanced camera ISP, Snapdragon Seamless. I don't know what that is.
I think it's their own kind of in-house kind of like a communication standard for the system.
And chip to cloud security. That's actually
that's big.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, security's huge lately. I was at a bit of a conference Monday night, talking about security and just how much it's like by 2030. It's going to hit like $30 trillion is like the ransomware costs globally is what it's going to cost ransomware wise, or what the amount of money people are going to try to be taking who are these malicious attackers when they try to ransom your computer. It's going to hit $30 trillion by 2030, which is an insane amount of money.
Yeah. How is any normal person going to get that much money?
No, that's not per.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was making a joke.
Yeah, no, that's total, but like still like.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, they get the most from companies, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And now with companies, they're having to buy ransomware insurance, which, if you have, it's great because if you do get attacked, then the insurance company will pay for that. But what's so hard about that is they're still getting money.
Yep.
And
they'll
in
keep
most
doing
cases, they're still going to get those money because that's the only way to release the systems.
Yep.
So it's just going to grow, and they're getting better and better because their goal is to go to you directly, and if you get shut down, it doesn't really matter to them.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care because they're getting tons of money either way.
Which, looking at it, the scalable across, does that look like a computer to you? That looks like just a CPU.
It does, yeah.
So,
which, I mean, it's their
marketing material.
marketing. So. It looks like their icon, but like it does look like a CPU kind of.
So hopefully we'll
or
actually
the box for one there even.
Hopefully we'll see in the near future
maybe a standalone. It'd be real. I think it'd be really cool to see Snapdragon come out with something, and then if NVIDIA came out with
competitive
CPU,
start competing in the CPU.
I would love to see more than just the two options there are currently.
Yeah. Well, there is a third option.
What's that?
RISC-V.
Okay.
But they're not mainstream. So.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see more mainstream options than just.
Intel and
not to get political, but it's political. It's a political battle. The U.S. has two major parties. Would like to see more major ones. There's two major CPU manufacturers. Would really like to see more. It's always in two. Like to see more than just a couple, though, would be nice. But hey, maybe with this, it might, at the very least, maybe open a door.
There's a product brief.
Yeah. What does that have to say? I think it's just more.
Oh, it gives us specifications. Holy crap. Qualcomm Orion CPU, 64-bit architecture.
12 cores up to 3.8 gigahertz.
Single and dual core boost up to 4.3. Dude.
Hey, this could be.
Memory LPDDR5X at up to 8533 megatransfers per second. Capacity up to 64 gigs. That's normal. Bit width. Oh, it's 16-bit.
Ooh. At the very least, this could really open a door, though.
That's normal though, actually.
Is it?
Well, not for PC processors, but for Android processors. That's
Is that
normal.
normal? I thought there was okay. Either way, I mean, at the very least, it opens a door. I think that.
Oh yeah. 8 channels.
Yeah.
at
Maybe not now, but
16-bit
in the
width.
future.
Yeah. SSD and NVMe interface.
Yeah, that'd be.
PCIe Gen 4.
I mean, that's sounding like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about display. Yeah, I don't. Display port 1.4. 3 displays up to UHD 60. It's not bad.
No. We should probably move on to the next topic.
Yep.
Though we still have a few left to discuss.
We're sitting at a hour 20 currently.
Yeah. So on to this next one.
YouTube crackdown.
YouTube is cracking down on some ad blocking, which is interesting because they were ad blocking or ad blocker development conference a couple months ago.
Well, Google was.
Google was, which owns YouTube.
Owns YouTube, but I think at this point, other than their single sign-on integration that they have, I think YouTube is still a separate company from Google, just parent-owned by Google.
No, Google are still very involved in their decisions.
Mm-hmm. Well, parent company.
Yeah.
Parent companies are generally involved.
Right, but they're like super involved.
Hands-on involved.
Yeah, they really are. Because it's not just ad blocking on YouTube; it's talking about ad blocking on Google, too.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like across the board, kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that Alphabet, Google's parent company, is even more like. Because what's going on is 80% of revenue that Google gets is from ads.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a huge company; they get a ton from ads because it's Google. Everybody sees it. So when you're not seeing ads, you're less likely to click on something, which may be good for the end user, but
isn't good for Google.
Google does not like that because that's how they get the money. And if someone's not making ads with Google, they're going to go somewhere else and try to make ads, Facebook, Instagram, various apps or whatever. So it's really been an interesting kind of development there too, because Google was like a couple months ago at an ad blocker development conference, kind of like seeing how they could help. They were there kind of as support to see how they could help and kind of cheer them on and stuff. But now, like last month, they're like, so we're not really going to allow this anymore.
Yeah, we need our money.
Yeah. And even what they've talked about doing is basically 3 strikes you're out, which seems crazy. Like they would completely restrict your YouTube account. If you like, they would warn you like 3 times, like, hey, you need to turn off your ad blocker for YouTube, otherwise you're out of here. And then, from what I understand, it would be an insane process to try to get that back.
Here's my question. How are they going to track who's using an ad blocker?
I mean, it would just be ad blocking technology reversed. Like, they obviously know who has premium or not, and
Mhm.
they obviously don't get ads with that.
Yeah.
The main question is, if you use an ad blocker and you're not signed in, how are they going to block you then or anything like that?
Yeah, are they going to start blocking via IP addresses?
Yeah. If so, that could cause issues.
Yeah, because
If it's dynamic.
well, not just that. It's if your public IP address gets blocked on YouTube,
Yeah,
and then someone else tries to access YouTube from your IP address, but from a different device on the network.
Yeah,
Everyone's blocked.
Yeah, especially like if it's public IP that they block versus the individual IP.
Well, that's the thing though. They can't block individual IP.
I thought they could.
No, because there's no way for them to see into the private network. They only see the public IP address.
You sure? It's Google.
Your gateway. your gateway.
They say there's no way, but
your gateway is the barrier
Yeah.
between the outer net and the internet.
right, but it's Google. Would you really put it past them to be able to? They do basically own the internet. Of which they came out with a new dot address.
Oh yeah, .zip.
Was it dot zip?
It was .zip.
Yeah. I was trying to think of use cases the other day. Like, does anyone really use this? Because it was like to advertise like your personal profile basically on or your cell phone.
So there were some issues that I could see with it.
Yeah.
Mainly brought up by LTT when they talked about it.
Yeah.
The whole such and such.com or such and such .zip, but you can disguise a .com to be a .zip
Mm-hmm.
by putting precursors in the IP in
Yeah.
the address.
Yeah, and like
And people that don't know to scroll over and make sure that there's not another .com, .net,
Mhm.
whatever.
yeah.
We'll just see the something .zip / so on and so forth.
Yeah, I heard that like with TikTok it could be a big issue because of and like other social media apps just with how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that would be it'd be to see if it's actually used for the intended purpose or not. But back to ad blockers. I have premium, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
But
I've been using premium for years.
yeah, same. So it'd be interesting to see the long-term effects of this, and if they kind of back down or not on this.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, only time will tell.
And I'm thinking here for a quick moment, we're going to take a quick intermission, use the bathroom, get water, so on and so forth. So we'll take 5 minutes and we'll be right back.
For a quick run through.
Quick bathroom break.
Yeah. And we're back.
Yes, we're back.
Sorry about that little short break there. I think my laptop's getting close to dead. And I didn't bring a charger.
It's Type
Yeah,
C, right?
33%. No, it's older.
Oh.
Yeah, this one is like my backup. Easy transport one.
Mm.
It takes the Windows standard plug. The Windows Surface plug. It's
I don't
fine.
have one of those.
Yeah, I left it at home. I think I might get a new one though soon. I don't know. Because the newer ones do. They take USB-C or the Windows standard.
Oh.
Get a couple options, which is nice.
Options are always nice.
Yeah, I think you also get more ports on it, which is also nice. Anyway, moving on. I think it's your topic now. Yeah. As he finds that, thank you if you're watching. Thank you for tuning in, or watching or listening, whatever service you may be.
Yes, thank
on.
you.
Excuse me.
Thank you. We're so small. Thank you.
We're small, but we're doing it anyway. Because
Yep.
well,
We feel like it.
I enjoy it. Feel like it. Want to. Whatever you may call it. Excuse us.
Yes. And note, neither of us have COVID currently.
I choked on my water.
I had COVID recently, so I'm still hacking from it. I am negative.
I mean, they're not near you. I'm the only one at risk here. Oh,
Sorry.
now I've been touched.
Okay, so although the Samsung Galaxy S23 series remains some of the best Android phones you can buy right now,
I thought you really are good. Believe me.
the
Can't get my phone in my pocket. Why are we showing our phones?
I don't know. Mine is not an S23. Mine is a A32.
Why are you showing your phone?
Because it's actually been fairly good. For
Yeah. I mean, it's
the A32.
it's one of the newer ones too. So
Yeah, it's been reliable.
yeah.
Although I've been wanting to go back to my Note 9, so
The 9.
yeah, I miss the Note 9.
What do you miss about it?
It's surprisingly, it's faster.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's got a better screen.
Do you think it's faster and better than this one?
Definitely not at this point, but
Yeah.
the 9 was amazing.
Yeah, I have the 23 Ultra and it's pretty great.
So going back to it, particularly the massive Galaxy S23 Ultra.
I like big phones. You get more screen real estate. You can watch YouTube better. TikTok. I'm on TikTok way too much.
That's part of why I miss my Note 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's considerably larger. Than
Yes.
this.
Plus, I haven't used an S Pen before.
Oh, it is amazing.
I love it. I haven't seen the need to get any of the previous ones that had it, but I use it a lot now. I did not think I would.
I miss it.
I honestly love it. It's an amazing feature to just quickly take a note.
Mm-hmm. Especially since you can actually handwrite and you don't have to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like when I pull it out, my screen it just pulls up a quick note.
Mm.
I can't close out of that and log in my phone, or I can write it down and save it, pin it to my home screen, or my lock screen or just save it as a note. It's really amazing.
It's got a lot of functionality and it's
Yeah.
very useful.
And I also use it to take pictures and video all the time.
Because you can use it as a trigger.
Yeah, I set the phone over there and I just have the pin kind of hidden in my hand and take a picture.
The nice thing is that one's easier to hide
Yeah.
than the one that came with like the notes and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely...
The one that comes with the notes is a bright yellow.
Yeah. This is black, which is nice.
So going back to it, it's easy to look ahead at what's next. Samsung recently announced 2 new folding phones, including the massive Galaxy Z Fold 5.
I've never really.
I don't understand folding phones.
I've never.
They're really
been
cool looking.
Fan. We got a friend that has one, but he said he probably would not get one again.
Isn't his like the flip phone?
Yes,
one?
it's the flip.
The flip.
Z Flip. I think it's the 4. Is what he has, I think. Which, for all intents and purposes, it's been a good phone. Nothing with like speed or performance. It works just as good as one of these, but
the screen's a weak point now.
The screen is a weak point now. Yeah. I mean, really, if they can improve that, yeah. And I mean, I've talked to him about it. He said that you really do get over seeing the crease in it, which I haven't used enough to do myself, but it's kind of like that island when Apple came out with like the
notch.
The notch, yeah. It's I guess it's one of those things. Yeah.
My phone has a notch.
Yeah, I like the pinhole. It's really one of those things that you kind of get used to it being there and stop noticing it.
So going back to our article here.
We keep getting off topic.
Yes, we do, but that's the fun of this type of stuff. So, but if you're uninterested in foldables, the Galaxy S24 series is the company's next set of incoming flagships that's set for release early next year.
I think it's too early to trade my 23 in. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I would wait.
I doubt there's going to be a
few
huge.
months after.
Yeah, I doubt there's going to be a huge revolutionary feature that's going to make me want to. There's still 5 months till we're probably 5 or more months till we even hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it could be as early as March, but as late as May. I forget when they normally announce it.
Ooh.
So it's still several months out till it even being announced. So we'll see what kind of features it gets, but it's supposed to be, from what I can tell so far, it's basically going to be trying to just up Apple on their features, and it's basically a battle back and forth now.
I really like how that looks. I know that's a 3D render, but I really like how that looks.
So that looks the same as mine.
It makes me think of the Note 9 a lot, like the Note 9.
Yeah.
Just a little thicker than the Note 9.
They did.
This one's significantly thinner looking, though.
That is thinner. I have heard on that there's rumor that they may be getting rid of the curve, and it may be an Apple style where it's flat.
Wait. I think I actually saw something about that.
Mm-hmm. That is rumored that they might be going away from the curve, which I personally like the curve.
Yeah, I love the curve, being able to go, and then a whole sidebar and not having to accidentally open it.
Yeah,
I've never had issues with accidentally opening it.
Totally. I use that all the time.
I use that. I actually use that.
No, there are people that genuinely do use it, but I don't use it. I just like it being curved. It makes it unique, I feel.
That's one of the things I actually miss with this is I don't have the quick access.
Yeah.
So I can't just go and then click on what I want.
Yeah, I don't. Now that, if they do go flat, that is a question if they would keep that and just be able to swipe from the side, or if that would go away.
If I had to guess, it'd probably go away.
That's what I'm thinking,
it's a
because
feature of the curved screen.
I don't think very many people use it. Which, if you use it, you use it. It's like a power user kind of using it kind of thing.
And again, that's why I miss my Note 9.
So that'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what they do. Again, this is all rumor.
Yeah.
So
As of this moment, it's all we have to go on is more of like leaks and stuff. Since there's not really been any real information released yet.
There's no real like fully verified leaks. Like none of this, from what we can tell, has been leaked by Samsung directly. So, but based on industry trends and stuff, it seems like it could possibly be going this way. And that's something else. The titanium frame.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
I'm still curious if it's going to be a actual 100% titanium or a titanium alloy frame.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's a flagship, I could still see Samsung cheaping out on it and doing an alloy.
They could definitely still cheap out. I hope they don't pull an Apple because they, in my opinion, cheaped out.
They more than cheaped out.
They use the cheapest titanium, but they basically use just enough to call it titanium.
I guess we got a visitor.
Yeah, none of the camera can see him, but bring him up and
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
maybe.
This is the studio cat.
Hi there.
He doesn't know what to think.
This is your first time on camera? Are you camera shy?
He's camera shy. Kind of.
Why are you looking at me like
Because he wants petting.
that? Yes, he does.
So this is Studio Cat. Who knows? Maybe if we become big enough, we'll make a Studio Cat cam.
Just following him around.
Who knows? Maybe one day.
Anyway, back to the.
Blah.
Oh, bye.
Go downstairs.
Don't knock over the camera.
We don't have to worry about that.
Back to audio.
He may be a big fat cat, but he's not going to knock over the camera.
Yeah.
The tripod's too wide.
Yeah. Could try climbing it. I could try climbing it.
No. So, out of everything from... Okay, so I'm seeing some size comparisons for what people think the phone's size will be. The standard...
Which I believe it's the same as the 23 line.
That would make sense since these
Yeah.
look like the 23 line sizes.
Yeah, I think what I have is a 6.8 currently.
So
My
the
Ultra.
standard full high definition S24 is going to be 6.2 inches, which that's about size of this
Yeah.
phone. The next one up will be the WQHD, which is 6.7 inches. That's the S24 Plus. The S24 Ultra with QHD is 6.8 inches, and it's a square.
Yeah, it's definitely more. Which I kind of feel like this is too more kind of square than rounded. It is kind of square
It is squared.
with the rounded edges. So now the only question is if they're going to make it just more square, or if they are.
Are they going to make it more of a brick or less of a brick?
Right. Supposedly more, but we'll see. Time will tell.
No, the question is, can I get my phone case off here?
I can't get mine back in my phone case.
There we go. Mine's not been out of the case in forever.
I change phone cases a lot.
So, that's my phone.
Yeah. Which from these renders kind of looks like what they might kind of go with.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very, in my opinion, kind of iPhone-esque feeling.
It is. It's very iPhone-esque.
Yeah.
Especially with the fingerprint sensor on the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because don't some of them of the higher end iPhones have the side scanner?
No.
No? Really?
They're all
screen?
Face ID.
Oh, they're Face
They don't
ID.
have any fingerprint sensors.
That sucks.
Yeah, they're all Face ID.
I love the fingerprint because it's just open.
Yeah. So I have an iPhone for work, and I got my personal Samsung, and I love it. I love the Samsung, but everyone at the office, or I'd say 90% of people prefer iPhone, so we stick with
You stick with iPhone.
Just for communication purposes, make it easier. Because iMessage versus
Standardize.
Yes, just kind of a standardized thing. But yeah, I love the fingerprint. And I mean,
It makes life so easy.
even in the screen, it's
fast.
it's fast.
Of course, that brings us back to the Note 9. We're back to the Note 9 again. It's got it's
Is it on the
surprisingly
back of
fast.
the
It's
9?
on the back.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if it was on the back for the Note 9 or not. Because I know it is for the S9 Plus, which is what I used to have.
He's gonna knock your keyboard over.
Yeah. I used to have the S9 Plus, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked it on the back because, like, you pick it up and your finger kind of sits right there.
The way I've always picked up my phone
Yeah.
is my index finger always rests where that sensor
And
was.
I have this little thing on the string on the back, and it's right kind of where wouldn't be able to use this if it was on the back, but it's not, so I got this now, and it's kind of in that same space though, which it's a very natural feeling. I feel like Apple could still add a fingerprint sensor to that Apple logo that's on the back of every iPhone. Maybe they will eventually, but it doesn't look like it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're pretty much sticking with Face ID for the time being. Although I also wouldn't be surprised if they did some in-screen fingerprint sensing if they feel like it's improved enough for them to add it, kind of thing.
So going back to our topic, well, more on spec for our topic.
Yeah.
As for the specs for the S24 and other models, it's easier to assume the newly announced Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 SoC will likely be the powerhouse for the new phone. Because the S23 has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So we're going to see another incremental increase in performance, which is normal for...
Yeah. I mean, when you get to these kind of speeds, though, it's really almost unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm. Although you will notice some efficiency differences.
Yeah, some different efficiencies and stuff.
The Gen 3, we could probably see it being between 10 and 20% more efficient than the Gen 2.
Probably better battery for sure, even if
Definitely.
it's the same size of battery.
Better battery life.
Better battery life, though.
Maybe even depending on what kind of battery technology is released between now and then, we could even see improved battery chemistries for the new phone. But that's hard to say.
Yeah, Samsung's been pretty cautious in general about batteries
Since their
disaster
debacle.
back 10 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, their cameras, their zoom capabilities might be changing a bit.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, so like they're 5x, and so they have 10x optical right now, and they may go take that down to like a 7 or a 5.
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially
at the same time, instead they would improved camera quality, higher resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they have to take it down. They'll probably, from what I can tell, still keep that 200 digital.
Probably.
Yeah, but that
Would be surprising if they don't utilize AI at some point, especially with the newer Snapdragon.
I mean, they already
better and
are.
better
They already are using AI.
Well, I'm meaning more
But
intensely.
even more, get even more better pictures. Yeah, be definitely interesting to see how they do that with the 24 and more to come.
Mm-hmm. And moving on from hardware, it's looking like the new. Why did that move? There we go. The S24 could be seen using One UI 6, which is based off of Android 14.
Which there's 5 current. They're using One UI 5 currently.
Yep.
So just which would make sense
Mhm.
for them to do that with the new one.
Yep, would make sense. There's rumor that One UI 6 or even 6.1 could be the onboard or the included version for the new
Yeah.
S24. My brain did not want to
I
process
noticed
that
it
one.
kind of like had some stuttering issues with your brain there. Processing issues.
That's normal. I'm running an old Snapdragon 835.
Please, I'm on Intel Celeron.
I thought you were on Pentium.
I am. Yeah.
Pentium 2. The giant card.
I'm on the first one.
Oh.
The very first one.
Oh. Oh. Well, I guess it's a good thing I have an 865. 6502.
I got
My brain.
I got a Ryzen 9 8950X, but I don't have any other parts for it.
I'm sorry.
Almost knocking my keyboard over. Anyway, do you have anything else for that topic? I think that's
Camera. We talked about that.
I mean, most of it's really just rumors at
Yeah.
this point.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Because nothing else is populated.
Yeah, this next one pretty quick here. Apple, it looks like Google is going to continue to pay the $18 billion a year to be Apple's default search engine. So defaulting to Google search on Apple devices. It seems like they're going to continue to be paying that $18 billion a year, which, I mean, these are huge companies.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking yesterday about it's practically change.
It's chump change.
It's chump change for them pretty much, because these are now $1 or $2 trillion with a T $trillion companies, and I guess Google's still making enough alpha ads to pay $18 billion. So
Yep.
it would be interesting to see. I still don't completely understand why they're doing it. Well, I guess I can see that because they're driving all that Apple traffic now to Google, showing their ads.
Yeah.
And
apparently
they basically make it up.
Apparently, there's also a thing of Google also has begun to explore how to use the new EU competition laws to get even more people to switch to Google Chrome.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. They definitely want to be a dominator in the market. They've wanted to be for a long time, and in a lot of ways they are, because like even on
Alphabet owns a lot of crap.
yeah, pretty much on everything but Microsoft search engine, so Edge. Pretty much on everything else, the default the search is Google. Aside from Microsoft Edge, which
And
uses Bing.
Yeah, Bing, but still, Google's making their money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Edge is built off Chromium.
Yeah, Edge is built off Chromium. Bing is basically
Google on shrooms.
Yeah. From what I can tell, it looks like a lot of Google ads show up on Bing though.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still making money off it, which is probably why they haven't tried to go after Microsoft and be like, "Hey, you want an $18 billion too?" So
It'll be interesting to see.
it'd be interesting to see how much Google makes versus spends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll ever release it, but it'd be very interesting to see a comparison between
Their costs.
this is how much we spent on Apple devices. This is how much people used the default search and didn't change anything. This is how much we made because of that. It'd be very interesting to see those numbers. I don't think we ever will, but I would love to.
I can think of a lot of people that would love to see those numbers.
It'd be very interesting for sure. Oh, forgot about that one. That's still going on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Microsoft and Activision Blizzard still working on negotiating that $68.7 billion deal for Microsoft to acquire them. It would be interesting.
Which the hold that had been placed on that by
Sony.
Sony
They
and
filed
the government.
Yeah, Sony filed the petition to place a hold on that.
Mm-hmm. That finally got resolved and declined because Microsoft said they're not going to stop games from being produced for only Sony.
You're right. And Microsoft's biggest argument, which is completely valid, was that Sony already has all these huge mega exclusive titles.
Mm-hmm.
And
we don't have any of them.
Yeah, Microsoft doesn't have a ton of exclusives, but they've gone away from a lot of exclusives too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've started making it PC and phone and Xbox, and even offered PlayStation some.
So here's
I think
actually
it's
a
some of the
really
times.
here's a really fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft's actually been treating PC and Xbox
It's the same.
is the same
Mm-hmm.
because for PC you have to have you have the Xbox app
Yeah.
and all that, and basically all your PC is a doped up version of the Xbox.
Assuming you have a high-end computer.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm honestly excited because newer games in the past, like Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, I bought 3 copies of that. 360,
Okay.
Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then PC when it finally came out.
I've bought 5 copies.
Why? Did you buy any for PlayStation? Why would you?
Because I have PlayStations.
Yeah, but why would you?
So
Unless you have friends that only have.
So I bought it for PC,
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360,
Yeah.
Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. I don't have the PS4 anymore.
Yeah.
Nor do I have the game anymore. But I've bought it 5 times.
Why'd you buy it for the PlayStations?
So
May I ask?
when I bought it for the PlayStations,
Mm-hmm.
this was back when PlayStation Network was still free.
Oh, that's a good point. Mm-hmm.
And GTA 5 was cross-platform.
Oh, I forgot it was for a period of time, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I could play on any network, essentially, as long as it
Mhm.
was previous gen or current gen.
Yeah.
So I played on my PS3 and didn't have any issues with it for the longest time. And then they went to PlayStation Network where you had to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped playing it then.
Yeah.
But at that point, I had purchased a PlayStation 4 and GTA 5 for the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did that. I was like, hell, that was the only reason I did this. And then I sold the PS4 and the copy of GTA 5.
So why'd you also get it for Xbox then?
Because back before I had a PC
Well,
powerful
actually,
enough to run it,
No,
you had it for
I didn't have a 304 at the time. Yeah, I had the 360 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. And we played
Yeah.
on 360
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
We did. I think I still have my game somewhere.
I don't have mine anywhere anymore.
Yeah, I need to get a new power brick for my Xbox 360, but it still works. It's sitting collecting dust right now, but it still works.
Mine's downstairs. I haven't really played much of anything other than racing games on it at this point. Of course, I still play PlayStation 2 a lot.
My PlayStation 2.
Yep. I have played a couple of games on my PS3, but that hasn't really gone anywhere because it's just sitting downstairs in my bedroom collecting dust because I haven't touched it in
I
a
probably
year.
need to turn on my PS4 and honestly PS5. I don't have PS5. I don't have the latest gen because I've been all PC lately.
Yeah, I'm all PC at this point.
Especially since Microsoft introduced the cross-play and cross-compatibility between Windows and Xbox. So I got a PlayStation 4, a Xbox One S, and then my PC. But I haven't turned on the consoles. And then I have a handful of older ones too. But I haven't turned on the newer consoles in
A hot minute.
been 6 months to a year.
Oh God.
At least.
Yeah,
I
I
should
should
PC pretty much every day.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, really though.
Especially since there's apparently been a lot of works to make PC and PlayStation cross-compatible too.
Yeah, there's been a push for that, and I think that would be really cool to see.
Hell, I will actually get to play games with other friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, pretty much I think all of my friends have PCs now that are powerful enough to play newer games.
Any game.
Any game. But I mean, this is going to be great for newer generations.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember a time when I had a pretty powerful PC, but not everyone I knew did.
Mm-hmm.
Most of people.
Back then, I remember because I was one of the friends with a not so powerful PC.
Yeah.
It was an old Dell Optiplex tower that I had modified the ever-living hell out of. It came with an Intel Core 2 Duo out of box, and I put a Core 2 Quad in it. And a GeForce GTX 750.
Oh, I remember that card. You used that card for a while.
I used that card for a long time.
Yeah.
I played Batman Arkham Knight on that card.
Yeah, that is insane.
And it ran
Yeah,
really nicely.
It really did. It kind of crazy.
Honestly, I've been thinking about breaking out some of my old hardware and maybe if I can find an old power or an old Optiplex like that system again, maybe bringing back that old system.
Trying to play GTA 5 on 4K on it?
Could try.
GTA 6 when it comes out?
I don't know how well that'll work.
Yeah, probably should continue here.
Yes, let's continue. We are at 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, we should be wrapping up here soon.
Yeah. Should...
You want me to go over this since I know a bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
so...
more of an iPhone person than I am.
Only because of my current employment. I'm in IT which gives me perfect to discuss this. And we are all iPhone at the company, and our policy is typically when the new iPhone comes out, when we get new hires or do upgrades, we typically get the latest one, just because it will last the longest until we have to upgrade them again or replace the phone or whatever. So we typically, in this case, been getting a few 15s for users, and we've definitely noticed it, or I have definitely noticed it, and then a lot of people online have noticed it as well. There's about 5 common problems, but there's numerous problems that has been happening. A few of these hopefully are solvable by software updates, such as the first one is it's been getting hot while charging, like extra hot, burning to the touch kind of hot.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm talking about like touching a hot stove kind of hot. It's kind of
Scorching hot.
Scorching hot. It's supposedly Apple can fix that through software as well as when it freezes during startup, which might be a little bit tougher to fix during software, depending on where it freezes, because if it freezes before updates or connects to the internet, then that's going to be an issue. But you should be able to solve that by restarting a few times. But still an issue. Then it's also been like slow and laggy, which has also been a complaint across the board for like the iOS 17. There's been a lot of issues with the 17 in addition, because 17 came out around the same time as the 15, the iPhone 15, and then iOS 17 kind of came along with that. And there's just been a lot of rollout issues overall. And 17 has not played well with the 15s or the older iPhones. And I'm talking about just as old as just a 14. It's just not played super well with them. And then the 15 itself can't fix this one through a software update, but some users have noticed that it attracts fingerprints a lot more in comparison to 14, for example, would have. And then another one is it's fragile. Like they added that titanium, but the way they did it made it so it's a bit more fragile. So this is not every phone. Some phones are still strong, but it's very inconsistent when it comes to like the bin test, if it will break or not, or just dropping it really. So specifically, like everything on YouTube did a kind of bin test, and it snapped instantly. That doesn't happen in every situation though, but in some situations it does, which really brings up the question: why is it so inconsistent in the manufacturing? It should be the same process across the board.
It might be that the process that they're using to make the titanium alloy, which is what I'm assuming that they're doing, is imperfect.
Yeah, it has to be. It was tested, and it does seem to be actual titanium that they do use, albeit the lowest grade.
Yeah, I was about to say there's several grades,
Yeah.
and the lowest grade titanium can be very fragile.
Yeah, it seemed like
It really just depends
most
on the temper.
likely the it's to save cost, with the cost of the new one versus the old one. It didn't change at all, so it is lighter, but it's most likely a cost saving measure, which is why they use the cheaper titanium. we'll see how that goes for them in the long run. What they change into 16 now. It'd be interesting to see if they change anything, or if they just fix the software issues and go from there on iOS 18. We'll see.
Well, that's interesting. An
Oh, yeah.
article about Apple and Samsung and Google ads.
Yeah, I'm on the article about Apple, and then there's a Samsung ad, and then a Google ad, and then an iPhone phone case ad. Right? Boom, boom, boom.
That is funny.
That's weird.
Okay, we're on to
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 7.
This one, I'm excited about this one.
Oh, I think we all are.
Yeah. Wi-Fi 7 is crazy. Now, did you mention you haven't looked too much into this?
I have not yet.
Yeah, so I've looked into it a little bit previously, but then, last night especially, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
802.11be, 46 gigabytes per second.
Yes, so that's
Holy
the
crap.
BE. That's the new standard, 802.11be. So it's been AX for the longest time, but BE is brand spanking new standard.
AX has been around since 2018, 2019, I think.
Has it only been? I thought it was longer.
No, because before that was AC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I was thinking of AC.
AC's been around for a long
AC's
time.
been around for a while, but then it came AX, which not a huge change in lettering,
No.
but BE is definitely something to get more used to.
Oh, yeah.
But
Especially those speeds.
But yeah, I mean, overall, AC was, you could get about 6.9 gigabytes a second total. AX, a small upgrade to 9.6. But then you look at BE, 46
gigabytes per second.
It's insane. Some of the stats here is the numbers is it's 4.8%, so almost 5 times faster than Wi-Fi 6, and it's 13 times faster than Wi-Fi 5. Which, I mean, if you just think of that, Wi-Fi is already incredibly fast
Oh, yeah.
in just recent years,
Which,
and this
Wi-Fi,
is just another.
Wi-Fi 6 was a recent thing, too.
It was.
It was released mainly because of over-the-air VR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was pretty recent, and now they've got 7, and it's just
Insane.
it's off the charts. It's 100 times lower latency, and it can fit up to
5 times
the network
devices.
capacity, which is mind blowing.
Which Wi-Fi 6 is rated for 100 devices.
Yeah,
So, Wi-Fi 7 is 500
that's
devices.
more than you could ever.
This is like enterprise grade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you could get more devices on the enterprise grade versions of like 5 and 6,
Mm-hmm.
like what
This
I
is-
have at the office. But like
7
this
is
is
effectively...
a home version.
Yeah, this 7... BE is essentially the corporate version of... Or, sorry, the enterprise version of 6.
Yeah, it really is.
Because 6, it supports up to 500 per node.
Yeah,
Holy...
it's
I would have bleep button right now because I want to say a word that I can't say when it's educational.
it is really mind blowing on how crazy. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. 2019 was Wi-Fi 6. I forgot about Wi-Fi 6E. The kind of
We don't talk about 6E.
yeah. It's practically
There's no difference.
The-
The only
the-
difference is the
yeah.
6 gigahertz range.
yeah.
Which not all that
Yeah.
many routers even support.
Yeah, it's very, very few. But yeah, Wi-Fi 5 was 2013, then 2019 for the Wi-Fi 6, and 2021 for 6E, and then...
I think I said 18, not 19. So I was off a year.
Yeah, I thought you said 18 or 19.
I guess I did. I don't remember. We'll have to look back.
And then Wi-Fi 7 is expected to launch next year in 2024, although you can start buying routers for it now.
Yeah, it's just the
of
standard
course-
won't be official.
Of course, they will still support 6.
Mm-hmm.
The Wi-Fi 6 speeds, but you can buy the router for it now and be ready for if you want to make that upgrade to Wi-Fi 7. Just have outrageous internet and huge LAN parties, Wi-Fi LAN parties. Go for it.
Holy crap! So I'm looking at this. So the most recent standard, not counting 7.
Mm-hmm.
The channel sizes for
Oh yeah, the channel
6E.
sizes of
20, 40, 80, 80 plus 80, 160 hertz.
mm-hmm.
And Wi-Fi 7 goes up to
It doubles.
320.
Yeah, it literally doubles.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say about that. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's
Oh, and-
absolutely insane.
It looks like with 7 we could actually see a roll of them starting to roll out the IPv6
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. There's a high possibility of that for sure.
Well, if you look at the bottom, the Mac.
Oh yeah, maybe a little more than high possibility there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can just do so much with BE, because like that's
It's insanity. It's
everybody. You can download a game in a matter of seconds.
as long as it's under a gigabyte.
No. Yeah, over a gig.
Well, no, I'm meaning like for people with average internet.
Oh, like if you took Wi-Fi 7 to the max, you could download a game in a matter of seconds. Like
yeah.
I'm talking about 100, 200 gigabyte game.
You could go and download GTA 5, which is currently 110 gigabytes to download in under a minute.
Yeah, which is just mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
That's assuming the Steam servers.
This is assuming Steam will let you download.
Yeah, I mean this is all with the assumption that
You can
the
download
server you're
at
connecting
the speed
to-
of
they are available at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're downloading at non-peak hours, then you could potentially get it downloaded in 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Easy. Because I don't think the Steam servers would allow for too much beyond that,
No.
speed-wise. But you could,
To be honest, with
or any servers, really.
with my gigabit speeds here,
Mhm.
I've never seen over 40 megabytes per second download. from
Right,
Steam,
yeah.
which makes a game as large as say GTA 5, which is currently 110ish gigabytes. It took 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To fully download the game again.
hmm But, like, this would...
Yeah,
You wouldn't have to worry about anything on the network slowing you down.
It seems to me
Definitely.
BE has been designed with the idea of streaming in mind.
hmm Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
yeah.
you have 4K streaming, 8K streaming, VR streaming, which is dual whatever your VR headset's
Yeah.
resolution is.
It looks like even game streaming is listed here
Mm-hmm.
with the idea of that in mind, which is kind of in an interesting place
Mm-hmm.
because it was popular and then it kind of died, but I think it's kind of coming back.
It's
a little
coming
bit.
back since Steam Deck and all
Mhm,
those have
yeah.
come out. Because there's some games that Steam Deck just can't run.
You're right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So,
Yeah.
802.11ax is 10 bits per symbol. So that's effectively 1024 bits in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
A packet. 802.11be is 12 bits per symbol, which is 4096 per packet. No wonder it's so much faster.
Right, it's insane.
They're adding more data to a single symbol.
Yeah. And just going down a little bit, like, you can really see, like, so there's a bunch of channels that just aren't used by the Wi-Fi 6 and older standards. Wi-Fi 7 uses these channels now to, so you have just so many more bandwidth
options.
and channels open to you to use.
And then there's the no waste, no congestion, preamble puncturing.
Yeah, like it's insane.
So they've done a lot of work with this and have.
This is almost destroying. Like if you get Wi-Fi 7, you almost have no need for a wired connection anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much as fast as any computer can.
Mm-hmm. It really is. If you have the full capabilities of Wi-Fi 7 in your house or apartment or wherever you live, you really don't have a need anymore. As long as your computer can support it, the Wi-Fi speeds, you really don't have a need for a wired connection with this. And as long as you have good coverage throughout the house.
The biggest downside to going to 802.11be is that systems that don't have BE built in, you're stuck at AX levels of speed.
Yeah, there's going to need to be, for sure, a lot of upgrading. Which, we saw with the AX. It's just going to be another round, like...
Oh, our computers are no longer good enough. We'll throw a BE card in it.
You're going to have to upgrade your computer's Wi-Fi now, which usually, if you have a desktop, usually entails upgrading the motherboard. Or
unless
getting
you
an
have a
external
motherboard
card
that doesn't have integrated Wi-Fi.
If you have Wi-Fi in your motherboard, you're going to have to get like a new motherboard that has that, which will probably be out a few months after this is even out.
Or there's actually a caveat to that. There's I think it's MSI boards. MSI boards have removable Wi-Fi cards that are it's a NVMe slot.
Okay.
And it's just like a laptop.
I need to look at mine. I don't think mine does. It's Gigabyte.
Gigabyte integrates it.
Oh,
it's on chip.
I thought it was. Either way, though, still really fast. Wi-Fi 7 is the key for business now too, because there's no longer really a need for separate
nodes,
enterprise level Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi 7 can do it all.
Going by the general, the enterprise usually has 5 times the amount of space as home use.
Yeah.
You're looking at You're looking at 2,500 usable ports, essentially.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it's really mind-blowing.
It is amazing what they have done with Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah.
Which there's really not much more left.
Yeah,
for Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah, that's really about it, but it's kind of crazy just how much they've done with it, and I'm excited for Wi-Fi 8.
Hopefully, Wi-Fi 7 will be it for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sure...
I guarantee.
People have said this before.
I guarantee there will be a Wi-Fi 8.
Yeah,
But-
I'm sure people have said this before, and I know they did. They have. I mean, honestly, what more could you want, though?
What?
At this point in time, what more do you need?
Exactly. And then as for performance of Wi-Fi 7, only time will tell.
Right. Only time will tell how truly great it will perform. But judging from these stats compared to previous stats,
Oh, it's
and
gonna.
previous upgrades, it will be great. Because it's not like a single company releasing it. It's
no.
a standard.
It's a standard.
So it will be.
It'll be everywhere.
It'll be everywhere, and it would probably I give it a 99.9% chance of it being true to what it says of it being great. So that's really all we have.
Yep, that's it for this podcast. Do we want to talk about anything random for a couple minutes?
I don't know. My laptop's at 5%. What do you
Well,
think?
we don't really need the laptops for-
I'm closing things out. That's for sure. How long have we been live?
2 hours 34 minutes.
2 hours 34 minutes. We obviously are not seeing anyone in chat right now, but if you do join later, thank you very much from the deepest of our hearts.
Yes,
You
are very much
Yeah.
appreciated.
And then if we upload this anywhere else, then
We will definitely
Wherever-
have to Audiofy
Yeah.
only it,
right.
and maybe put it on Spotify.
Yeah. So if we do that, you can find links down below if you want to listen to the Spotify
Yes.
version.
Read down here in the description,
Or
we'll pin it in the comment
Yeah.
section.
yeah, we'll put it somewhere if you are interested in listening to the audio version of it on select podcast sites.
Wait, what the hell?
Ads, I don't know. I don't even know what it was advertising.
I don't know either. All I know is that did not look kosher.
I think it was.
So, going back to stream real quick to you guys, are people watching? If you have any suggestions for any topics we should do in the near future,
Anything you want to see at all.
anything, please do
just
leave
talk
a
about-
comment or
Or if you have like a idea for just like a chat
yeah.
kind of thing that you want, if you want to be on the podcast, voice call in.
We can figure something out.
We can figure something out.
Although, for those that want to voice chat in the podcast, there will be some requirements.
Right.
We will figure those out at a later date, though.
Yeah, but message us.
Yeah.
If that's something you're interested in, we're open to hearing any suggestions or if you want to be a guest.
For the next podcast, we will probably have a Discord set up
To join.
for you all to join.
Yeah.
For doing, we'll have a suggestions area and so on and so forth, and that will be where we put our suggestions for topics for the podcast or videos and so on. So until then, everybody. Tim, any last words?
I think you pretty much got it covered.
Okay. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this stream or podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment.
Below.
Yep. Until next time,
Thank you very much.
have a good evening.